Recently, Senator Joe Manchin was here in New Hampshire for No Labels Town Hall, and he's been linked to a possible run for the Oval Office. What are your initial thoughts about a third-party candidate on the ballot, and do you think, if it happens, it would pose a threat to the Republican base you and others are trying to solidify?
Well, look, a third party could win in the United States. I'm of the opinion that having two strong parties is the way to go. I think both parties have problems, which is why there seems to be people that want to do a third party, because that shows a dissatisfaction with where they are now. Right? But ultimately, long term, a third party, I think, might lead to coalition politics like you see in Israel, which is, I don't think, leads to better outcomes. But ultimately, whoever's on the ballot in November, your job is to talk to as many people as possible. And if you're afraid of additional competition, then maybe you need to rethink that for office.
As we're speaking, Governor Sununu is at the southern border visiting with New Hampshire National Guard members stationed there. As president, how would you address the current situation at the border?
Well, look, I used to represent 820 miles on the border, more border than any other member of Congress. The way you address this crisis, which started under Donald Trump and it's gotten significantly worse under Joe Biden, is you got to stop treating everybody as an asylum seeker. Not everybody qualifies for asylum. You have to address legal immigration. This is a problem that Democrats haven't done, even when they've had all branches of government under, being controlled by a Democrat. And we need to address the root causes in places like the Northern Triangle, which is historically given or been the source of all the illegal immigration. But 5.5 million people have come in this country illegally since Joe Biden was in office. About each one of them spent $10,000 on average to a human smuggler, which means $55 billion has been fueled to human smugglers in narco-trafficantes or drug smuggling organizations. We need to be treating those entities and dismantling those entities and show make them a national intelligence priority.
And one thing going on, we've seen how both domestic events and global events like the war in Ukraine are driving up prices for everyday goods, whether it's at the gas pump, the grocery store. Americans are filling in their wallets. What are some measures you would try to implement just to ease the cost of living for everyday Americans?
Well, when you talk about Ukraine, guess what? Number one, let's give the Ukrainians all the material and support they need in order to win the war quickly. Right? Nobody wants a forever war. We need to get that grain going back and forth to impact the price of food. We also need to make sure that we're doubling down on our energy independence. One of the things that we can be doing is selling more energy to our European allies so they don't have to worry about buying from the Russians. And then also streamline how the government actually operates. Fiscal policy and bad fiscal policy leads to driving inflation, and so let's make the government more efficient. And let's stop worrying about whether there's going to be shutdowns or not. That has an impact. And then on an area that is, I spent a lot of my career focusing on is in semiconductors. Semiconductors are involved in every piece of electronic, whether it's your car or your phone. And if we don't make sure that we're doing more manufacturing here in the United States, the cost of everything that we need to live in the 21st century is going to go through the roof.